Have you ever wondered what was out there in the night sky? Stared up at the stars in the hopes of seeing something out of the ordinary? Have you heard unexplainable noises coming from a vacant room, or watched a shadow cross the wall in front of you? Have you asked yourself if there is life after this one, or if you had life before? What about strange creatures that are mythical and elusive? Have you experienced deja vu or felt a prompting to leave because you felt you were in danger? If you have, you were on the fringe.
Welcome to another episode of On the Fringe. I'm Mark.
And I'm Pam.
Yay!
Sounds like we're missing a little bit there, huh?
We are missing a little bit, but I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Before we get started, I've got some housekeeping to take care of. And hey, this is Mark with What If Tomorrow and What If Tomorrow on the Fringe. Be sure to check out our website, whatiftomorrowmedia.com. And look at our cool merch. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, posters, and more. Our affiliates are Duke Cannon, EMP Shield, My Patriot Supply, and Conflicted the Game. Or check out buymeacoffee.com/whatiftomorrow and buy us a coffee. And as always, be sure to like, comment, and share on both Facebook and YouTube. It helps get our content out to others and help our channel grow. Now on with the show. And we're back.
Awesome.
So Pam got to go to the Arkansas Paranormal Expo this last weekend, 2 days, Friday and Saturday, and or was it Saturday and Sunday?
It was Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday, and it sounds like a good time was had by all. So
it was fantastic.
I'm wanting to go now. So
yeah. Oh, 100%. I would encourage anybody to go. I know it's a little bit of a drive. It's like 4 or 5 hours from here, but y'all, it's amazing. They have some pretty big names that come in. Mark, if you want to pull that up and we can see a lot of the speakers did make it. There's Ken Gerhardt. He's a cryptozoologist. There's Debbie Ziegelmeyer. She's Missouri MUFON. Pat Fitzhugh. He's the Bell Witch expert. And unfortunately, Bishop Long wasn't able to be there. He ended up with COVID, I believe. Martha Hazard Decker, she's from Texas, and she has a lot to do with the Hill House in Mineral Wells. And next is Keith Age right there, and he is a director and producer on quite a few shows. I don't know if you've ever seen Death Tunnel, or it's based on Waverly Hills. And he was premiering Bourbon Spirits, which is a new paranormal YouTube channel that they're doing. And actually, last year when we went out to Amok, when we went out to Bell Mansion in Fort Wayne, Indiana, that's who we met out there, was Keith. And we thought we were interviewing people, and we were the interviewees. So it was kind of cool. So we're supposed to show up in one of the episodes. And then Adrian and Tina Scalf, which Adrian's the A in the Amok group. He's from Arkansas. And they have some really good presentations. Actually, they were at the Caney Paracon this year, too.
Yeah, he helped us out a lot with being
he did. He guest moderated, and yeah. And then Robert Swain, he's a really big Arkansas cryptozoologist, big fit dude. And then at the bottom is Carol Page. She is a renowned psychic. She's amazing. I was really impressed with her. And then there's Margie Kay at the end, and unfortunately, she was not able to attend either. But you know what? Even with a couple that were missing, they did a little bit of shuffling and were able to give a couple of the speakers additional time. And it was seamless. They did an amazing job. Excellent. Yeah. And it's $10 at the door. And the cool part is it's at the MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History. And it's a gorgeous building. Oh my gosh, it's so neat. And it's on the National Historic Registry. So, you've got all that history going on in there too, in the middle of all this. But all the proceeds go to the museum, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's a good thing right there.
Hmm.
Right there.
Very, very cool.
All right, so we ready for the next slide here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I recognize those people.
Yeah, there's Adrian and me. Amok did have a live. Well, we had a podcast table, so we were live streaming off and on throughout both days, and we cross streamed over onto Bordertown Strange too. So you might have, if you didn't catch us at either one, go check it out. It was fun. We had people coming and going, and it was all kinds of crazy in there. I
Okay.
talked to Rhonda. She's the host of the entire benefit, and they had 865 people come through the doors. That is incredible.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
That
good.
is really good. It was
we're happy to hit around 200 for ours. We are just one day.
Yes.
So that's something to aspire to.
It was kind of fun. Adrian and I, we ended up being on the news on Channel 7 in Little Rock.
You were on the TV.
Just like the psychic said. Remember him?
Yeah, we had a psychic tell us at an event one time that Pam was going to be famous for TV. So there you go.
That was so funny.
There you go. You've been on TV, so it's true.
And there we thought he was crazy. Maybe he had a little bit more going on. He was very crazy. There's no good predict anything.
I think he was just lucky, but he was a nice kid though.
He was nice, but yeah, his skills were lacking. Is that a good thing?
It's been a few years.
He was having an off night, if nothing else.
Maybe he's, because he's a young kid. To me, he's a young guy. And he's had a few years to practice. I'm sure he's gotten much better.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I hope so, for his sake.
He was a hell of a good kid, though.
He was. It was a fun night.
Yep.
For sure.
Oop.
And there's Miss Shaw. She was right across the way from us. And she was representing Exploring the Paranormal Perspective, which is her podcast. And she was catching people for interviews and just pretty much getting to talk to everybody and meet everyone. And it was great. We got a lot of cool stories from people.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. And that on the left side there is, this is terrible. I'm not 100% sure who the lady is in the tie-dye, but next to her is Tina Scalf. That's Adrian's wife. And they had their River Valley Paranormal table set up.
Wasn't she one of the young ladies who went to the castle with us?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I think you're thinking of Robin. That's not. That's not her. Yeah.
No, you're right. All right.
And then on the right. Back up. Can you back up one?
Yep.
Yeah. On the right, that's Keith Age, and that's his wife Robin. That's with him. And there's some of their movies that he has produced sitting there, and then Bourbon Spirits. And he was selling T-shirts. I ended up buying one, so they're pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. He's a cool dude, man. So is Robin. And there's Ken Gerhard and his girlfriend. Super, super nice people. And he is very well versed in cryptids. He's really, really interesting to listen to.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then on the right there is Robert Swain and his wife. And I think that's their son that's with them. But he had a new book come out too on Arkansas crypto. Or Arkansas Bigfoot, I should say.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's really, I did not get that one. I wish I would have. I thumbed through it because somebody picked one up. I think it was, it might have been Ken Raumiller. Or it might have been Adrian. I'm not sure. Somebody picked it up and I got to thumb through it and it looked cool. Yeah. Hopefully I can talk him into letting me take a peek at it.
There you go. All right. Oh, there's our Pam.
Yay. And that is Pat Fitzhugh, and he's of the Bell Witch infamy. He started getting interested in that when he was a young boy, and his mom told him the story, and then talked about the people still being alive that were descendants, and that got his interest because he's really into history. And so he has spent, I think he said 35 or 45 years, I can't remember which, fascinated with the Bell Witch.
Oh wow.
And he's written a couple of really good books. I own one of them that's excellent. Super cool dude, super, super nice. Yeah, can't say enough nice stuff about him. He's a good guy.
All right. I'm definitely going to have to hit this up next year.
Oh, you've got to. Man, it is so much fun. And there's Miss Martha back there. She was selling her books. She's written on the Haunted Hill House that's in Mineral Wells, Texas. And she's retired police. So she really has an interesting take on investigating. And she's awesome. We hung out with her every chance we could get, I should say.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's great. She has got a great, wicked sense of humor too. And then on the right, the lady that's there with me, that's Rhonda. She's the host of the entire get together. This woman is a force to reckon with. She has got it going on. This was their 13th year of putting this on.
Oh wow.
They missed 2020 and 2021 due to COVID, but other than that, yeah, it's been 13 years where they've actually had it. So over the last 15 years, 13 of them.
Well, see, that makes me feel better. So if we get 10 more years under our belt, maybe we can have an event this big.
Right. And then there's Ken in the background. He's photobombing us.
He kind of looks like Santa Claus back there.
He plays Santa Claus. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
He's played Santa for, I want to say, I think he said the last 5 years, maybe. And he's fantastic at it. He's perfect.
It's a fun job. I enjoyed doing it.
And he's got the beard for it. You know, he keeps it. He keeps it on beard now. Yep. Yeah. Yep. So he's got the real deal. If they tug on it, you know, it's not coming out. Yeah, exactly.
Leave me alone, Ken.
But Ken, he's the Missouri that's in the Amok podcast, and he's from St. Louis. So he traveled quite a ways. And he did the night before, Friday night, he did Spirits in the Garden at the St. Louis. Oh, I'm losing the name of it. It's the
Botanical Gardens.
Yes, at the Botanical Gardens. And he didn't leave there until 9:30. And then he drove all night, and he made it like an hour outside of Little Rock before he stopped.
Tired, so I mean,
he was exhausted, but he was a good sport. Kept that smile going the whole time.
I've not met many people who smiles as much as Ken. He's a fun guy.
He is a fun guy, and he has the best dad jokes I've ever heard.
Even better than mine.
I know. I was getting ready to say, whoops. You've got some pretty darn good ones too, Mark.
No, mine are bad, and the worse they are, the more I like them.
Right? That's what makes him so fabulous. But yeah, he's a great guy.
If I can make people groan, my day's made.
This right here, I wanted to add this one in because this was a slow moment on Saturday, and there were people just in and out. And if you look, you can see where it says "Duty on Our Country." That was the hallway where there was a staircase, and then on beyond that was another room with the speakers where they vended, and then beyond that is just open into the lecture hall. So it's all just right there, and everybody's just flowing back and forth. And we were on the second floor. There's a whole nother floor down below that was full of vendors, and then there were also outside vendors. So it's a pretty big deal.
Oh, nice.
And there was a food truck, Son of a Butt Barbecue is what it's called. They were really good.
Well,
thank goodness.
We'll have to try harder next year.
Right. And there was a little bit of cosplay going on. Here's a Yip Yip. And he had the mouth. He was able to work the mouth too. It was great. He'd stand there and do it. It was awesome. He walked in and I was like, Yip Yip. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And if you don't know what Yip Yip is, they were off of Sesame Street when Mark and I were kids. I guess they're still on there. I don't know if they are.
Back in the Stone Age.
Right. When we had to watch them in person. Okay, yeah. These guys. Okay, so this is Central Arkansas Ghostbusters, and we actually had them on a live during the event. And we found out some super cool stuff about them. I did not know that Ghostbusters is like a national franchise where they have these groups that are under their LLC, I guess is what you would call it. But they're different chapters, and these guys happen to be the Central Arkansas chapter. And they dress in the flight suits, and they have the proton packs, and they got their Slimer there with them. But what they do, everything that they do is for donations to Heroes and Angels. So any money that they bring in goes directly to that. And they do things like birthday parties, and they go to the hospitals and visit kids, or whoever needs a little encouragement. And the family calls, that they're more than happy to go do it. And it's not just these two guys. There's a few more that just aren't in the picture with them there. But they're so fun because they come around and they'll do the stances, and at the end of our live with them, they both see how they're pointing. They both did the whole Ghostbusters thing, how they do it. It was awesome. They are
That
super
sounds like a
fun.
blast.
They are. They're the nicest people too. I had actually got my picture taken with them last year, but I didn't get to talk to them very much. But it was great. We sat down and talked at least an hour with them. But
Oh, nice.
people would come through, and you see the cards that are laid out. They would test your ESP with you and things like that. And Shaw got 5 in a row right. We were just floored. He said he thought that might be the record for one right after the other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it
That's
was really cool. Super nice guys. The one standing up, that's Brandon. I can't remember his last name, but the guy that's sitting, his name's Jay Paul, I believe.
Nice.
No, his last name's Paul. But yeah, super cool people. And there's Miss Debbie Ziegelmeyer. She is the assistant director of Missouri MUFON, which is the Mutual UFO Network. She did a couple of presentations, and I had to pick up. I wanted to get both of her books, but by the time I got over there, one of them was already sold out. But I did get this one, which is The Alien Colonization of Earth's Waterways. And it's fascinating stuff. I heard her lecture on it. That's why I wanted to get a copy of it. So, Mark, this is something that you'd get into as well. We need to show this one to Enzo. Enzo would get a kick out of
He'll
this.
flip. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Did I show Ken's book, Ken Gerhard's? There's the Essential Guide to Bigfoot from Ken.
Yeah.
So, and Ken's written a ton of books, and I think it looked like he had all of his titles there to sell. And that's the fun part when we go to these things and you meet the authors, they'll sign them right there for you too.
Nice.
So,
I
do too. Yeah, Debbie's super cool. We are going to have her on sometime. We've had her on a muck before. She's fascinating, and she is so personable. She's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear her speak.
Oh, she's phenomenal. And a fun fact about Debbie, we all are really digging the 37th Parallel book. That's about Chuck. I can't think of what his last name is.
Zelensky.
Zelensky. It might be. Is that it?
No,
I can't remember.
It's something like that.
It is a Polish surname, and I know that because Debbie told me for sure. She is Chuck's sister. And in the book, the 37th Parallel, she is the person that is chased
out of
from Kansas, clear back into the southeast or southwest. Yeah, that's her. It's pretty wild.
It is. Darkness.
Is that it? That was it. Yeah.
Oh no.
That's called Pam throwing a slideshow together really quick and accidentally leaving a few black ones on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of black ones.
Is there? I just sat there and I was like, duplicate, do. So yeah, you guys, if you're interested in this stuff, I would highly encourage you to go to it and just get a taste of it. I mean, it's a bit of a drive. We got hotel rooms for 2 nights, but it's worth it, man. There's great places to go around Little Rock too while you're there to visit.
I bet
So,
there's lots of Airbnbs and stuff there.
oh yeah, there's a
So,
bunch, and there's hotels right there around the museum too.
so
But they have
excellent.
a really hopping downtown, and
Oh,
Jelly Roll
nice.
was just in town like 2 days before we were there, and he was at, a place right next door to a restaurant called Gus's Hot Chicken, maybe? I can't remember the exact name, but I know it's Gus's. And, he went in and he was like, "Okay, anybody in Little Rock that comes to get a meal, I'm buying it. It's on me." So,
Nice.
yeah, we were like, "That'd be cool," because I guess it's really good food. And we went downtown to try to eat there, and there was no getting anywhere near
Oh yeah,
it.
yeah.
So we ended up at where did we end up? Cracker Barrel. That's where we ended up at.
Uh, I I ate for the first this year. I ate for the first time at a Cracker Barrel.
Really?
Yeah, I was with you.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Where were
right.
we? Topeka. We were in Topeka, weren't we? We were on our way home from
Yeah,
Geneseo, I think, or Wamego, maybe.
yeah, we were on our way back from Omega.
Yeah, we stopped in Topeka. That's right. I forgot about that.
It's good stuff. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's not bad. Not bad.
All right. So it sounds like you had a really good time.
We had a ball, and you get to meet so many cool people, and you get to hear so many stories. There's people that come just to meet other people that will listen to their stories. So, yeah, we got to listen to a bunch that haven't been recorded before, and it was neat. It was
Well,
fantastic.
we'll have to take Enzo.
Yes. Oh, Enzo would just be over the moon at this place. Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure. I think Scotty'd love it too with the crypto guys or the cryptic guys that are there.
I bet he would. I bet he would.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean there were some pretty good names there. So
Yeah, for sure. But
nice.
that was my weekend, and we made it home at 3 o'clock in the morning this morning, and then I worked from 9 to 6, and here I am.
I promise I won't keep you on too long.
It's all
We'll
right. I'm I'm
we'll
I'm
try to wrap up
floating right
around
along. Sounds good to me.
All right.
I'll
Well,
hang in there as long as I need to, though.
I don't know if Jess is going to make it on here tonight, but we wanted to talk about Nightmare on Bradley.
We did, and we have some slides of Nightmare, and hopefully, Jess, if you get a chance to jump on, you can. If you can't, hopefully we will do you good on this.
All right. Nightmare on Bradley is an event on Halloween night
Mhm.
that Jess and her husband put on, and it's amazing. It's all Nightmare before
It's all Tim Burton related.
all Tim Burton related stuff,
Yep.
and the whole yard and the side yard and around the back is just a little maze there that they've got with the inflatables.
Mhm.
People literally drive from all the surrounding towns, like 1,000 or more people.
They
Uh,
had, I wanna say last year, I'm trying to pull numbers out of my head here. I wanna say it was around 800 that came through.
yeah,
And y'all, that's impressive because our little town only has maybe a population of about 17 or 1,800 now. And that many people are going through, at Halloween.
people came from Independence, Coffeyville, Bartlesville,
Yep.
Sedan, and that's just the ones that they count. I don't know how many
Yeah.
parents sit out in the cars and
No,
whatnot.
that's true. It's a good
So
point. But they've been doing this, she can correct me if I'm wrong. I wanna say it's been about 6 years now.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It
It
was
grows a little bit bigger every year.
it does, yeah, and if you go on to the next slide, you'll see this is kind of, I'll go one more, sorry. This is kinda how it started, and you'll see it was very small, um, still cool as hell, though.
Oh yeah,
Um, and the best part and what something that I really wanted to focus on this when we did this presentation was the artwork. If you guys do know or don't know, Jess is an incredible artist,
she
and
is amazing.
so she is. And so a lot of this, if you see it, the artwork, it's hers. She has made the stuff herself. The only things she really didn't make were the inflatables, and the
Right.
pool noodles that you see that mark the pathways. That's about it. Pretty much everything else she made.
She is an amazing artist. You are no slouch yourself.
Well, thank you.
I am surrounded by talented people. It makes me sad that I have none.
You are a pretty good author yourself, so don't be saying that.
To do that and to actually be pretty good, I would have to have time to sit and actually write.
Right.
The
It's a struggle.
60-hour work week is detrimental to both my mental health and my capacity for writing.
Yeah.
I still think of new stories all the time, so I guess I
Cool. We'll write them down. Maybe one of these days when things slow down, you'll have a chance to look back at your ideas.
That's my retirement project.
Yes, for sure.
So,
all right, keep going and we'll show them some more of this. So this right here is, man, I don't know why that's covering up the pictures there. That stinks. Actually, let me do this, Mark. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think we had this problem the other night too.
Just going to share your screen.
Yeah, let me present it full screen over here. So if you'll drop that for me, thank you. We'll switch it over here to a share screen. See how fast I can do this. There we go.
It'll give you control over it.
All right, there we go. Okay, so we will zip through a few of these that we've already seen here real quick. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so before everything gets going, Jess has created this little countdown that she puts out in the yard. And it actually started out with some kids that had stopped by her house after school one day and knocked on the door and was like, hey, are you gonna be doing the nightmare thing again? Because we're really hoping that you do it. It's super cool. And, how cool is that for the kids to actually be asking for something? So, yeah, they set this up.
Still a little bitty town, but Halloween is probably one of the bigger holidays. Everybody still goes all in for the traditional Halloween trick-or-treating. And so
we do. As we had looked back in some yearbooks, and we've got it back into the 20s is when we think that there was a parade that the grade school does to this day. So even still now, the kids will take their costumes to school, and about 1:30, they all get into costume, and then they walk them downtown, and everybody's parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, they all come downtown just to watch their kids walk through the parade in their costumes. And then they go back to school and they have their little party,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And it's so much fun. They go home long enough to eat dinner and then hit the streets because it's time to go trick-or-treating. And Katie still does the door-to-door thing. And now we've got some big things like there's the cotton candy house. And it's been going on since I don't know if it was before I was born or I remember doing it when I was very small. So it's at least 50 years that it's been going on. And they've just passed the tradition down through the Buster family. And some of the kids are handling it now, but they make full things of cotton candy to give out to the kids. So you get to stand there on their porch and watch them, curl it up and hand it off. It's super cool.
Yeah.
It's Nightmare. And over at the library, that's where I am. And we give out candy, we give out popcorn, and every kid gets a free book. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. And then, a lot of the churches and different things, they've moved downtown and do trunk or treat right there downtown. And then there's the fire department. They give out like full-size candy bars,
Oh yeah. I stay away from it because I'm already a fat kid.
That's funny.
Well, I mean, I have at least one kid that doesn't like chocolate, so guess where it went?
Oh man.
I know, right?
That's nuts. So this right here is how Jess starts out with Nightmare. She will sit down and she will draw out a little schematic to figure out how it's all going to happen. Up there in the corner where you see the pencil, that's where their house is. And all the rest of that is their front yard and how they're going to weave everything in and out. And then over towards the end of the pencil, where you see the lead, like right here, they give out funnel cakes. We didn't mention that. When you get through the maze, you end up at the funnel cakes, and they don't make full size ones. They make them, they're about cookie sized, and they fit right down into one of the little bags. So it's not super messy to carry off. And there's candy along the way too. But
Everybody
they
loves
also
it.
have, they do, they have buckets put out everywhere. And so, you know, the kids, while they're standing there, if they have stuff that they don't really care for, there's donation buckets. And Jess goes through about every 10 minutes and has to empty these things. And at the end of the night, they gather all that up and it goes to the Blue Star mothers. So, you know, all the candy that's not chocolate, they send, you know, to troops that are overseas. And then the chocolate gets distributed here in the States to like VA and things like that, where it's not going to go bad going somewhere, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah. It's an amazing program, actually.
it is. It's
Blue
super
Star Moms
cool.
does.
Hmm. And then she has been featured, her and Mike have been featured in a Muse magazine a couple years ago. And then off to the side, I can't remember what year that was. They were in the Chronicle, but you'll see there's Mike, Jess, and then their daughter, Raven. And Raven, when she's home, she helps out a lot.
Looks like it was a few years ago. Raven still has long hair.
Yes. And Raven's, she's graduated high school now. So that's
Yeah.
been probably 4 years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, somewhere in there.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
She's a year behind Noah.
Yeah, she is, isn't she? Okay, when we get into the artwork that Jess does, she does all this stuff by hand. So she is on some forums and things for Halloween haunts. And so there's a lot of creativity on there. And this was one of them that's really cool, where they use the PVC pipe, cut it down, and actually drip the stuff down it to make it look like the drippy candles. But this next picture, this is what it looks like. The night of. You can see all the candles down there. It's so cool. It just looks fabulous.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing.
And they do have the vintage pumpkins that they use. They make I love that big pumpkin wall they have over there. And it looks so cool, just lit up. But they try to do different things, different years. So this one up in the middle, I love that, with Jack peeking over the pumpkin patch there.
Yeah, that was
such a creative thing to do. Very, very cool. And again, this is her artwork. She she cuts out these pieces, like this is the Corpse Bride, and she kind of went through the steps of how she painted her. And then over here's what she looks like the night of Halloween. And I don't know if we said or not, it's just one night. They put all these things up and it runs one night, and then the next morning it's over.
It's gone.
So it is, yeah. Very cool.
So that is amazing that they get 800 people in just one night.
It's incredible, isn't it? Here's some of the, just a kind of a grouping of some of this is all, I mean, she does all this by hand. There's some Beetlejuice, there's some Nightmare, and there's Corpse Bride.
Yeah.
So fun. And this is one of the coolest things, I think. So, and if you go to her Facebook page, it's The Nightmare on Bradley on Facebook. And you'll see where she posted this weekend that they got the spider web up. And Jess will have to explain more about this, but I know this comes from a butcher, but I don't remember where. We'll have to have her explain a little bit more. But yeah, you just pull this stuff out and cut the strips out. Or you don't cut the strips out, you cut the holes into it. And the cool part is they hook it to the tree and the ground. And they can use this stuff year after year. When they're done with it, They can take it down and roll it up. But it makes this really cool little labyrinth that everybody can walk through on the way out.
Yeah, it's absolutely creepy. It's absolutely creepy.
It is. It's so cool. I love it. And there's a good shot of what it looks like at night.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
The tunnel.
Right?
I hate spiders. Oh,
right. There she is. I can't remember her name. She has a name.
I don't know. I just call her creepy.
Just call her creepy?
It's creepy.
Can't remember what it is. It's not Elvira. We'll have to ask Jess. And here's some more of her hand-drawn things or hand-painted things. Just all the little creatures that are kind of side creatures out of different shows. It's pretty cool. Like I know this worm. He's the worm that lives in The Corpse Bride.
Mm.
Kind of fun. But and here's what it looks like. You can see them all out here. There's Frankenweenie. She made this Beetlejuice sign here, and this is the characters Beetlejuice.
From the Beetlejuice cartoon.
Yes, from the cartoon in the 90s. Yep.
Yep.
I just love him.
It's amazing.
It is.
Like I said, she does amazing work. She always has.
She has. She's so good at it. And this is just a little bit of some of the shots going around there. And there's Zero.
Yeah.
Love Zero. He's awesome. There's Jack and Sally in the graveyard, the cemetery. But y'all, this is just amazing. When you get there, it's just all lit up and there's so many cool paths and just something to look at everywhere. And they do have 3 pumpkins that are solid. They're not cut in faces or anything, that they have the projections on, and they'll sing the different songs and stuff. It's so cool. Super cute. And that is a TV screen or a movie screen, and they play different Tim Burton movies throughout the night. So while you're waiting in line, you can watch a movie too.
Yep.
There's some more of them. Lots of blow ups, lots of fun stuff. She even has, see the stuff coming out of the walls of the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun.
It's so cool.
It is. I'm excited. I'm always sad because I have to work at the library to do Halloween over there, but I try to, if everything's still going on, I'll hoof it over to Jess's house just to catch the tail end of the festivities over there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy good.
Crazy good for sure. But yeah, it's so much fun.
The kids absolutely love it.
They do. And I wanted to make sure we got this shot in here of daytime. It's cool looking in the daytime too.
Yeah, it really is.
Really, really is.
And the trick-or-treaters start when it's still light. So
they do. Yeah, the younger ones will come through for sure. There's some fun. And everybody likes the photo ops. There's some good ones. And here is some fun people. There's Miss Jess. That's our friend Dana. She's from Bartlesville. She always brings her twins up to go to this. And then this over here is Holly and Justin Denton. And then there's Jess and there's Mike in the background. That is the funnel cake tent. That's where he mans the funnel cakes. And his cousin Julie Russell, she comes over. She used to do funnel cakes. I want to say they used to do them with a carnival. So she is a funnel cake making fool. She can just rip those things out. She is a huge asset to the whole situation. This was a couple of years ago because there's Mike, there's Jess, there's me. Oh my gosh, what was her name? From Harry Potter. I blinked on it the other night too. Bellatrix Lestrange. That's who I was that year when we did Harry Potter at the library.
Mm-hmm.
There's Miss Dana again. It was a fun night.
It really was.
It was. They set up this photo op for families to come in and take pictures too. And I think that's just totally cool.
Yeah.
There's Raven. This is Jess and Mike's daughter, Raven. She always comes to help when she's here.
That's a more recent picture.
That is, yeah. She's a little older in that picture than she was that first one. Little taller. Still smiling though.
Yeah. That girl's got a smile.
She does. There's
All
Mike
right.
and one of the kids.
Yeah. Mike is the biggest kid.
Mike is the biggest kid. He loves this just as much as Jess does.
I'm not allowed to play with Mike because we get in trouble.
That's awesome. Well, we wanted to show this. This is the next day. This is what the house looks like on November 1st. It's all gone.
Yep. They get it all packed away. And
yep. It's just a one-night thing. But she is planning for the next day for sure.
Yep.
For the next Halloween. There we go. And the address is 406 North Bradley. So if you're in the area, They usually run it from is it 5 to 8, I believe.
Something
And
like that. Yeah.
trick or treat starts at usually the kids start coming out around 5. So if you're in town or in the area, I highly, highly encourage you to stop by. I know the biggest reason that Jess wanted to start doing something like this is her and Mike had bought a house on the east side of the highway. And that's the side of town that when it came to trick or treating kind of got the short end of the stick, because the majority of stuff that happened downtown's on the west side of the highway.
Right.
So, when you were a kid, you didn't always get the opportunity to go to the west side. So it was kind of slim pickings here and there. But it's really cool because not only is since Mike and Justice started doing this, they've got a
The
neighbor.
neighbors started picking up on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
There's
one
one
catty
that's in,
corner is getting.
yes, he's like friendly competition. He's like, I'm going to outdo you this year. So she's like, bring it on, which
Yeah,
is,
he's trying.
it's a win-win for sure.
Yeah, especially for the kids.
Yeah, and the other people in the neighborhood, they're really stepping up to the challenge of all the kids that are in the area. And Katie, I mean, the different churches, you can take your kids to the church and they will have a hayrack ride basically and put the kids on the wagon and just take them around.
And that's neat. I mean, and that way your kids can hang out with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
They can visit all of these houses, and they're supervised. They have adult supervision.
Yes,
So
that's the best part. You don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So fun.
Just a moment, I'll be right back.
Do what? Oh, I'm holding the fort down. Okay. So yeah, I would encourage anybody. I've lived in Katy the majority of my life, been gone for here and there a few years, but yeah, it is a great place to raise kids, especially when it comes to the holidays, especially Halloween.
Halloween is the best. I mean,
It's the bomb.
I remember the big Halloweens back when I was a little kid, and they just kind of dried up. By the time the 80s, 90s rolled around, nobody was hardly doing it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to make a resurgence.
Yes, and that's hopefully it does everywhere because it's such a fun time for everybody.
Yeah, I remember
my thing.
We would go to Ark City, and I would get one of the large grocery bags full of candy by the end of the night.
Yeah.
Take my little bucket or whatever I had, and I'd dump it 2 or 3 times. I bet I got 10 pounds of candy every night.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. So fun.
Well,
though.
and you've seen me on sugar, so I'm going to tell you right now, it's a wonder I grew to adulthood.
That's funny.
I should have been strangled. My very nearly was.
Oh my gosh.
Sugar!
No kidding. Yeah, it happens. And it's fun. I love the fact that Katie is adamant about keeping the festivities on Halloween night. No matter, like this year, it's falling on a Thursday night. We're doing it on Thursday night. If there's school the next day, there is. This year, there is not, which is really cool. I'm sure all the parents are.
I think that was done on purpose.
I hope it was done on purpose because I know it helps the parents out for sure.
It certainly does.
It does, and it's great. So
and the teachers don't have to deal with a sugar high.
Yeah, no kidding. That's probably it more than anything. I can't blame them there.
Sure.
Cannot blame them one bit.
Nope, we're not doing that again.
Right? Okay, I'll knock that down. What else you got, Mark? You got anything? I know we were going to talk about Halloween in general.
We're going to talk about Halloween in general. I mean, this brings it up really well. I mean, that was one of my favorite holidays as a kid. You don't. It's really hard to do that, and these days, you're never going to see the homemade popcorn balls again.
Probably not.
Now they make the prepackaged ones, so you kind of get to do it. There was nothing like a fresh homemade popcorn ball.
I remember those.
All the caramel and the salt and the
Do you remember the candies that I remember? Remember the little orange and black little twisted up candies? Those are
Yes, yes.
always. I don't see those anymore. I'm sure they're still
No,
around, but I
I'm sure
don't
they're
see
still
them.
around. Candy corn,
Yeah, that's a
Mary
biggie.
Jane's,
Yep.
um, and some of those things you only see at Halloween these days.
Yeah.
Chico sticks, you don't hardly see those except at Halloween.
There's probably a good
You can
reason for
still
that.
find it. You can still find them.
Are you a Chico Stick fan?
I've got a soft spot in my heart for Chico sticks. I'm not a huge fan of them, but the nostalgia.
Oh, you might be able to tell how I feel about them. I don't know.
There was this old man, and I say old, he's probably my age now. And I
You're
won't
so
name,
old.
I know, right? So the guy'd be 100 now. Anyway, he's an old man, wore overalls everywhere. And every time he'd come out by the farm, talk to my dad, he'd have a whole pocket full of candy for the kids. They were usually Chico sticks.
That's awesome.
So, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's cool. That memory attaches to that. That's fun.
he was the nicest old guy that you'd ever met, and it brings back memories. It really does.
That's
So when
cool.
I see
love
the
it.
little ones, I think, oh,
Awesome. That's sweet. I know. Wow, I just lost my train of thought where I was gonna go with that. Yeah. Whew. Y'all, it's been a day.
right. I get it.
I did lose it. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Well, you spent so much time on the road.
At least I didn't have to drive. Thank goodness. Debbie drove us. That was good. I just talked so we'd stay awake. And y'all know I can talk, so
I mean, you're a pro,
right?
right? Do you actually get paid for it?
Huh?
Do you actually get paid for it yet?
No.
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 We made $30 or $40 last year.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
you mean that way? I think we're
yeah.
up to like $13 or $15
Yeah,
for Spreaker.
I made enough to buy business cards.
Oh, nice.
I got 1,000 of them, so.
Sweet. You know what was cool? Going back to the Arkansas Expo, Jess, I had her bring me over some extra Border Town Strange cards. I'm really glad I did. She brought me a box, and I came home with maybe a quarter of a box of cards left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were taking them. We ran completely out of the Amok cards that we had. So yeah, we were at the end. We were like having people take pictures of the back of the last card we had left with our info on it so they could get it.
That's why I got mine has a QR code on it so they can scan it and
Yes. Yeah, there's a QR code on ours too, thank goodness.
see. I've also got the digital business card so I can just tap and go on your phone. So
Those are so cool.
they're not bad.
Yeah, those are really neat looking.
Now, a lot of people go with there's several different brands. I went with Vistaprint because it's $30 a piece, and you don't have to pay a fee to have your account. You just buy the card the one time, and
Oh, wow.
you're done. You don't have to pay anything. And so the nice thing about the digital card, and that's where my QR code is linked to.
Mhm.
If any of my information changes, I update the site that Vistaprint provided,
Mhm.
and everybody gets the updates.
Oh, sweet.
Got all
That's
my
really
updated
nice.
information all the time. So,
Man, that's cool. I like that.
so if I want to change my website name, if I want to add more places to go, and I can just add it to there. Like I'm going to be adding a Tumblr. So I went ahead
Nice.
and did a thing, and we've now got a Tumblr. So
Sweet.
the episodes are going to start popping up on there. I'm going to have to go through this weekend and add that to all the back episodes. So
Nice. That's pretty exciting. I like that.
it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I mean, it gives you another option to find our content.
It does, yeah. Hey, any way you can get it out there, that's great.
And
Go ahead.
was gonna say, we try to keep it entertaining. We want people to have a good time, especially with our other podcasts. I try not to preach on anything. So if you are a fan of What If Tomorrow, you know that we just try to start a conversation and get you to do your own research, because we don't want to do your thinking for you. Now the fringe is just, it's near and dear to my heart. I love it,
Right?
and so that's a labor of love right there, and the occasional times where I'm on Strange. So
Yes, we always love having you on Strange. I'm not sure what our next episode is going to be. We need to work on that now that I'm back.
okay,
Figure out what it's going to be.
if you need me, you can always.
Yay!
Uh,
We'll be dragging you along with us on
Drag me
something weird,
along.
I'm sure.
oh, the weirder the better.
That's what I told everybody. So, okay, here's the Amok card, and it's Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas. And, we do a lot of regional things. Now, this is the Bordertown Strange card, and we deep dive the weird. So, if you like deep dive in the weird, there you go. And we always got the, ooh, yes, for sure.
Oh, yes.
So.
And, there's a lot of people out there who's interested, a lot more than I thought there were.
Same. I will never forget. And I know we've talked about this a million times about when you and I got together and we were like, they're going to run us out of town or it's going to be fun, one or the other.
And there's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, yeah.
A little bit of both.
Much better now.
There are still some negative Nancys here in town who, you're worshiping the demons.
Oh.
We're going to have to exorcise the demon.
Goodness. It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. For sure.
It could be a lot worse. But most people are interested. And like us, we try to find the scientific side of it.
Yes.
Because I truly believe that all the stuff that's paranormal is actually just normal. We just haven't quite figured it out yet.
I agree. You know what, Mark? If you'll talk for just a second, I just thought of something I do want to share.
I can talk for many seconds, as you well know.
Go for it.
So, while she's doing that, let's talk about some of the things people do in other countries for Halloween. In Mexico, they do trick-or-treating on the 31st, but that is just to slide them into the Dia de los Muertos, if I pronounce that halfway right, the Day of the Dead.
You did better than I would.
It's been going on for 3,000 years as pre-Columbian Mesoamerica. So that's when the gates of heaven open, allowing the spirit of the deceased loved ones to be reunited with their still living family. That's kind of cool. England does the trick-or-treating now because of the pop culture thing. Why not? They're more likely to do Guy Fawkes Day. You know what Guy Fawkes Day is?
Tell us.
Well, Guy Fawkes attempted and failed to assassinate King James I with a very large bomb made of barrels of gunpowder.
Oh my.
So, it's celebrated by bonfires across the country. So I don't know if they're wishing he had succeeded, or they're just good trials for it. They celebrate it every year. One of my ex-bosses is from Great Britain. I'm going to really have to ask him about Guy Fawkes Day. Yeah, he's actually taking care of my area while my other boss is on vacation. So I'm going to ask him about Guy Fawkes Day if he's going to celebrate.
That's cool.
Let's see. In Italy on November 1, they do Ognissanti, or All Saints Day. It's a kind of a religious deal. Guatemala also does Honor the Dead during the first couple days of November. During the Giant Kites Festival.
Giant Kites,
Giant Kite.
Kites.
Yeah, it's called
Huh.
Bariletes Gigantes. Giant Kites. Halloween is getting bigger in Japan. So, but trick or treating is not popular. That's sad because that's the fun.
They're missing out, aren't they?
You
Hey,
know how the
I see
Japanese.
somebody you know in the comments, Mark.
Oh, yes, you do. My lovely wife says hi.
Yay. Hey, Chris.
So, Japan, it's all about the costumes.
Yes.
They basically invented cosplay, and so Halloween is just an excuse. They can dress up however they want, and nobody says a word.
That's awesome.
Ireland is where Halloween started in the first place. Halloween originated from an ancient festival of Samhain, which celebrated the beginning of winter in pagan Ireland for more than 2,000 years ago. So that's
cool.
My ancestors are to blame. That might be why it's my favorite. I don't know. Maybe it's genetic.
It's just in our blood, right? Because
In our blood.
Yeah. All right. So I got this. When you're done with that, let me know.
Oh no, let's go right on ahead.
Okay. Well, this is no biggie, but I just am super excited about it. So if you know me, you know I am an amputee. I'm a left below knee amputee due to a car accident 30 years ago. Actually, October 23rd was 30 years. That's insane.
So you've had it's been gone longer
for 25. Yeah, it's been gone longer. I've been without a leg longer than I've had one. Yep.
So
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. As long as I've known you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was 25 when I had my accident. So pretty nuts. But I'm also a huge fan of Haunted Objects podcast. So if you know me, you know that as well. And that's Greg and Dana Newkirk stuff. And Jess and I and Jen went to the Haunted Objects podcast live show in Wichita a few weeks ago. And when we were there, I think we all three ended up getting t-shirts, and they're super cool. Well, I was in the process of getting a new socket made for my leg. And usually I have Nightmare, I almost said Nightmare on Bradley, Nightmare Before Christmas on my socket. And what they do is you take a t-shirt and then you give it to your prosthetist, and the tech will laminate it onto your socket. So it's really cool looking. So I took my, I didn't have a Nightmare shirt. So I took my Haunted Objects podcast shirt. And let me share this screen so you guys can see how freaking crazy it came out. I absolutely love it. There it is.
It turned out pretty cool.
It did. It came out so good. And everything on there, I asked them to make sure that they got this right here, the Goblin, which is Tyler Strand's Goblin that he made for the original Hellier show. Made sure they got that in there. And they got the new oh, I'm blanking on their names. Lou and Liz. That's the Mark, I'm struggling. What's the word? The
puppets?
And yeah, but they're not. What are they called? Oh my goodness, y'all. I am
Marionettes?
tired. Almost.
Ventriloquist?
It's like a ventriloquist doll. Yes, that's what they are.
I got it.
Sorry.
Yay.
Woo. I'm telling you, I'm on maybe 3% brain power here tonight. But everything that's on here is involved somehow with one of their haunted objects in their museum. And we did accidentally kind of have to give Jeff Goldblum a lobotomy there, but it's all right.
No.
Hey, Enzo. Hey, bud.
All right.
Enzo, you got to see this. Let me drop this. But anyway, that's my leg. So yay! If you see me and you want to see it in person, don't hesitate to ask. I don't mind showing it off at all. They even got see right here. They got the haunted ramen reference on there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. Okay, let me. Oh, what am I doing?
You want me to take it down?
Yeah, if you could.
There you
Thank you. I got hung up. Did you see that? Okay, so Enzo, I'm talking to Enzo here. I was at Arkansas Paranormal Expo, and look what I got. One of Debbie Ziegelmeyer's books, Alien Colonization of Earth's Waterways.
Play your cards right. Next time you come over, I'll help you swipe it. I'll distract you.
Ooh, that
Oh,
doesn't sound
no.
fun.
That's scarier than Halloween.
It is. Enzo said, sorry, he was late. He was in an HOA meeting. Yuck.
Ooh.
Yuck. But isn't that cool? Yeah, he said, very nice, Pam. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. And I got the colorized version of it too. So
Sweet.
can't wait.
Sweet.
Will not be tonight that I read it though, because I'm going to crash and burn.
I'm surprised you haven't just fallen face first in your keyboard.
Right? I am shocked I have been able to string. Well, I haven't been able to do it well, but I'm still stringing words together somewhat.
Well, I mean, you've devolved to where I am normally, so I think, you're fitting right in.
Yay!
I'll just start talking and I'll just go blank, and people try to fill it in for me. No, give me a second. I have a word and I've lost it.
Oh man,
It's probably where I
it's
left
been a
my
rough
mind.
one. And I got grandbabies in the morning, so I'll be up bright and early at 5:30.
Well, we won't keep you on here
Woohoo.
much longer, so you can get some rest.
But
So,
yay, this has been fun. We missed Jess though. Darn it.
yeah, we missed Jess, but it'll be fine. She'll be on next time.
Yes, for sure.
And
Bordertown will be on. Bordertown Strange, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday we'll be on.
A
Yep.
week from Wednesday.
I'm not 100% sure what the topic is yet, but as soon as we know, we will get it out there.
I'm sure it will be thrilling and engaging.
We try. We try. For sure.
All right. That is really all I had to go with tonight. Hopefully in a couple weeks we will get Brian Terrell from Red Dirt Cryptids back on.
Yes.
We had him scheduled for 2 weeks ago. I spent that whole day in the ER passing a kidney stone.
Ugh.
I probably could have done the show, but I was incredibly stoned from the morphine they gave me before they sent me home.
Could have been extremely amusing.
They shot that right in my IV. I probably would have been very entertaining.
See, Enzo's saying in the comments, it's windy here. I had to hang on while walking around. It is here too. It's nuts. And I guess, have you guys seen the weather? Wednesday, we're under tornado warnings. Tornado potentials.
Wednesdays are 80% chance of severe storms.
Yeah, it's a big,
it'll be a big deal.
It's going to be a big deal.
It was 5 millimeters. My
Dang,
stone.
that's a big stone.
It was stuck halfway between my kidney and my bladder. They thought it was appendicitis because of where it was.
Goodness.
So,
bless your heart. Don't wish that on anybody.
Well, hopefully there's no more where that came from, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
Right. Yeah. Enzo said that's a blue ribbon winner. Boy, is it.
Yeah. It was quite entertaining. So, well, thank you everybody for stopping by and listening to us. I hope you all have a happy Halloween.
Yes.
Those of you who are expecting trick or treaters, I hope you give away all your candy.
Yay.
Those of you who have little kids and are taking them trick or treating, I wish you a safe and fun evening.
And don't forget to collect your candy tax. if you're a
Collect
parent.
candy tax. Yes. Right now is the time to teach them about government and responsibility. I
That's
believe
awesome.
the going rate for taxes for most families is about 20%, 25%. So you get a quarter of their candy
Dang, you're steep.
because you're the government. Well, if you're in a higher tax bracket, if they get a lot, you get 40%.
Well, it makes sense if you think about it, because there's the countries where they have universal health care or whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called, where everything's taken care of. You do pay higher taxes, but you get taken care of.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a kid, you pay the candy tax because they take care of everything. So there you go.
There you go. You got to cover transportation, food, costuming,
Yeah.
and if it's homemade labor, yeah, I mean,
Too funny.
is
I
that
love
why
it.
Election Day is a few days after Halloween?
Oh,
You
could be.
if you want to see the demons,
Oh, yeah. It's gonna
I
get
just want
scary
government
around
stuff.
here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so before I put my foot in my mouth, I'm going to wish everybody a good night. Happy Halloween
Yes.
early, and we will see you on the Fringe in 2 weeks and a week from Wednesday on Bordertown Strange.
Yes.
So,
Happy Halloween, everybody.
all right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Let's see if I'm smart enough to do this.
I'm smiling.